Welcome to the Northamptonshire Wellbeing Programme. My name is Jenny Marks and I'm an occupational therapist. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about fatigue management and how we can manage fatigue. So a little bit about fatigue facts. Now, 75 to 90% of people have cancer-related fatigue, and this can affect people in a massive way and sometimes only a little way, but it does affect a large amount of people. The most frequently reported symptom in cancer patients is fatigue, and it can be quite a distressing symptom. I think sometimes people don't realise that this is a symptom of their cancer and or their treatment, and it can make a big impact in their lives. It can present at various stages of the cancer journey, and it can be very long lasting after cancer treatment. And it can have a considerable and a negative impact on the quality of life and your sense of well-being. And it's a very personal experience. Some people may find that they have a small amount of fatigue and can manage their day-to-day lives. Others find that it can have a massive impact on their lives and can affect every aspect of their daily lives. So the effects of fatigue. Some people can find difficulty with everyday activities. This could be personal care and getting themselves washed and dressed in the mornings. Some people might find it's getting meals or even going out and spending time with their friends and family. Sometimes you could feel like you could spend the whole day in bed, you feel that tired, and it can really affect you greatly. You might not have the strength to be able to do anything, or you might have more of a lack of concentration, trouble thinking, speaking, or making decisions, difficulty remembering things, and sometimes even difficulty sleeping. You may feel a little bit more emotional than usual. And this can sometimes affect your relationships, either because you don't feel the energy to be able to spend time with people, or you avoid social contact for fear of feeling so tired afterwards. So we look at the 5 Ps, which are prioritise, looking at what is meaningful to you, planning, what do you need to do and how are you going to do it, looking at pace, so grading activities to make sure that they're in small pieces so that you're able to manage it. The permission, sometimes to say no and giving permission to yourself to be able to take it easy. And also posture, standing, sitting or using equipment to make things that little bit easier. So looking at prioritising, you can make a list of tasks that you need to do in that week or that day and ask yourself, does it need to be done today? Do I want to do it today? And then you can look at the 4 Ds, which are, does it need to be done now? Can I delay it? Does it need to be done by me? Can I delegate it to somebody else? Does it need to be done at all? In which case, can you dump it? And do I want to do it? So it might be that actually cleaning the house isn't a priority. It does make you feel really tired. And actually you'd prefer to be going out and spending some time in the garden. So that's something that you can dump. Moving on to planning, really think about a task before you go to do it. Try and gather everything you need ahead of time. So for example, if you wanted to make a cup of tea or you were making a meal, could you put a chair by a table and sit and do it and gather all your things together? So make sure that your kettle, your tea bags, your sugar is all close together, so you're not having to walk around the kitchen to get everything together. The same with cooking. Get all your ingredients all together so that then you can use it together rather than moving around the kitchen to try and gather everything together, which can be quite tiring. Preparing for your fatigue. So what do you need? Can you think ahead of time? You know that going for a shower makes you feel tired. So what can you do to make that little bit easier? Could it be equipment? Could it be your timing of when you have a wash? And doing things a little bit differently. So again, when you go to have a wash, it might be that you use all your energy having a wash. So then maybe instead of getting yourself dried, just put on a toweling robe and dry yourself using that. You can sit and relax and dry in the toweling robe rather than using a towel, and letting the cool air into the room and relaxing from having a warm shower can sometimes help with the fatigue. Then moving on to pace. Pace isn't all about just speed. We want you to avoid rushing and keeping a moderate, sustainable pace. But tasks may also be broken down or done in a slightly different way. So for example, if you're preparing for an evening meal, instead of doing it all in the evening, you can be preparing your vegetables in the middle of the day, getting things defrosted and ready to go so that you're not having to do it all in one go in the evening. Stop and rest before you become tired. So don't complete a whole task and then feel absolutely exhausted at the end of it. If you start to feel a little bit tired, then allow yourself that rest and maybe finish that task later in the day or another day if you're able to. And plan rests as part of your daily routine. So it's okay to have those rests, and actually you probably are going to be more productive by taking rests little and often, rather than trying to rush and get everything done and then feeling exhausted for that day or maybe even a few days later. You can alternate between active and quiet tasks throughout the day. So try and mix it up so that you do give yourself that rest. If you know that you're going to be quite active in the morning, then maybe give yourself that afternoon to be able to rest and recover. Even if it's still something active, it might be that you then want to sit and do a puzzle or something a bit more relaxing if you've been out for the morning. And also maybe try half today, half tomorrow. Allow yourself the time to be able to spread out a task. Not everything needs to be done all in one go. Permission. We've always said be kind to yourself and allow for those bad days. We don't want you to cram everything in because you're feeling good in the morning, waking up feeling energized. We don't want you to exhaust that by trying to get everything done in one day. So maybe just pace yourself and allow yourself to have those good days and those bad days. And think about what allowances you would make for a friend. If you were talking to a friend who was feeling the same way as you, how would you be wanting them to look after themselves? And that's the way we want you to be thinking about yourself. And instead of thinking, I must, I ought to, try thinking about, I wish to, and I choose to. So don't put that pressure on yourself. Think about what you would like to achieve rather than what you must. Posture is a really important aspect to consider when we're thinking about fatigue management. We use energy all of the time just maintaining our posture. And if our posture and positioning is poor, more energy is used by the body. So what we want to do is think about how our posture is when we're carrying out activities and making sure that we're supported in the best way possible. For example, using furniture or equipment to be able to perch on or sit on can really help in preserving our energy when we're carrying out tasks. So things that make life easier. Some of it is using furniture and equipment, for example, a perching stool or a chair to be able to sit on, bathing and showering items such as a shower chair or a bath board. These are all things that you can sit on to be able to preserve your energy and make those tasks a bit easier. Long-handled aids mean that you don't have to worry about bending down so much when you're getting dressed, or if you're picking things from the floor. That can make life a bit easier. We also have kitchen trolleys that people use sometimes, so instead of having to carry lots of things to and from different rooms, you can put all your items on the kitchen trolley and move it all together so that you're not moving around too much. We find people tend to use apps or technology such as Alexa or the Echo or the Nest in order to automate some things so that you're not having to get up and do things. There's all kinds of things that can be automated now. Lights can be on and off, and you can set reminders for things which can help you managing life a little bit easier. Other equipment that might be useful, using tumble dryers, dishwashers, instead of standing and washing all the dishes yourself and having to go out and hang washing on the line, can make all the difference. It's those little jobs that potentially you don't enjoy doing that you could dump and then become a bit easier and a bit more managed. So then you've got more energy to be able to do the things that you do enjoy. Using toilet frames and grab rails, sometimes it takes a lot of energy to be able to stand up if you're feeling rather fatigued. And these are things that can make life that little bit easier. You're not using as much energy to do that, and that can give more energy at the other end to be able to do things you enjoy. Similarly, chairs and bed raisers and stair lifts, those kind of bits of equipment can make life a little bit easier, use less energy, and then give you more energy for doing other things. Thank you for watching.